All right, it's Jordan Sanchez, Revolution 935, and I am here with the one and only Laidback Luke. What is up, my man?
Hey, what's up, Jordan? So good to see you here.
It's good to see you as well. I've always wanted to do this, so if you allow me, you are now rocking with the best Laidback Luke on Revolution 935.
Oh, yes.
You already know. So how's it going? How's everything with you, Luke?
Yeah, actually good. I'm super thankful that I'm actually based in the States now. I'm based in New York. And, I'm just so grateful to be able to do shows again when everything's open in the States. And I mean, I look at Europe, I look at the Netherlands, and they literally had it open for 1 week for all festivals and all clubs. And then the government shut everything down. And I can only imagine the mental impact that has.
I bet. I mean, we are kind of going through a little bit of a rigmarole right now with what might happen with this whole Delta variant. But it's good to see you working and doing shows. I actually wanted to talk about that. So let's talk about this. On your YouTube channel, which you are very, very open on, you documented your first shows after lockdown. I think you went to Texas. You came down here to Miami. How was it coming back to playing shows?
Oh, it was so good. I can tell you, Jordan, I had this recurring dream throughout COVID where it was every 2 days I dreamt I was walking through a festival or walking through a club or a pool party. I was checking out the vibe. I was listening to the DJ playing before me, and I make my way through the people onto the stage. I climb on stage. I get my USB out. I put my USB in. I'm ready to rise and to perform, and then I wake up. And for that to then just finally happen, like the dream becoming reality, and where I rose, I remember the Texas show. I rose from behind the decks, and I literally was like, oh, am I going to wake up now? And so, no, I was actually performing, and I was so grateful because, it's just such a blessing. Now I realize, most of the time on my YouTube channel, I was like, okay, what can you do to make touring easier and to prevent you from mentally burning out and that sort of thing. Now I'm back with a sort of a much more, like, being much more grateful for the interaction with the crowd and whatnot.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And you mentioned this about, burnout and stuff. On your YouTube channel, you're really open about not only your professional life, particularly with like DJing and tips and stuff. I really like the In My Mind stuff on YouTube. Super helpful for DJs. But you're also really open about like personal stuff too, right? About mental health and your family and what you do aside from music. Why do you think it's so important for you to be so open about that?
I think it's important for people to see the other side that comes with a certain amount of work ethic, a certain amount of success. I want people to be aware of that, and especially when Avicii passed away, this only became more amplified. And I can tell you, in the background, a lot of DJs and top DJs were actually in a group together where bi-weekly we speak about each other's mental health just to check in on each other. And it's a tricky thing because a lot of people think, oh, you're successful and you have money and you have fame. What can be your problem? But there's plenty of problems in the background. And I do want people to realize that, and especially the younger talent that aspire a career like this, I need for them to know that there's pitfalls as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's really important too. I think people admire you because you are so open like that. And even me right now, when I'm sitting down with you, I was super excited because I consider you someone that is inspiring, right? So how do you react when, like, at the shows or when you're out and about, like at ADE or Music Week, without the pandemic, obviously, like when someone comes up to you and they express to you how you've inspired them, what's that like?
That's always nice for the ego, but actually that's not the purpose of it. The purpose of it is to be able to be there for someone, just as the people that I've looked up to, they gave me a shot or they gave me time and attention, and just to be able to be that for someone else. This is why I respond to tweets as well, because even now when I tweet some of my peers and they respond, I'm like, oh, my day is made. I love it. They responded to me. And so at a certain point, I realize I can give that to someone else as well by just giving a simple response. I can make their day. And so that's what energizes me and what gives me that. Man, it's just so nice to be in touch with people and to be able to make their day.
Yeah, I agree. I really like that attitude. Every time I see you or I see other people go up to you, you see the smile on their face, and you genuinely enjoy it. Especially when you do your workouts, those are awesome. The way to interact with fans outside of the club or outside of the festival is to me is one of the things that set you apart from a lot of the other guys out there. I did want to talk about something that you mentioned about being based in the United States. How do you like it being on this side of the pond now?
Well, it's fascinating because there is a very much of a culture difference, and I can tell you I've spoken to my wife about this, where Dutch people in general are super straight when it comes to a response or something they think. They just shoot from the hip, similar to people from New York, which, where I'm based at now, so that comes in handy. But my wife is from Texas, and she sometimes has a lot of trouble with me being super direct. And now in this year of pandemic, and especially in interacting with my wife in a closed household, I've learned how to tippy-toe like most American people do. Like, okay, so I have an opinion, but I want to walk around it and kind of like feel the waters, and this is very alien to me. So I had a Zoom meeting with a bunch of Dutch guys the other day, and I was shooting from the hip like I was used to, and no one got offended, and it was incredible. But there's a lot of perks in America. One thing in the Netherlands is you cannot reach for the skies. Like in the Netherlands, they say, just act normal. That's crazy enough. And in America, the sky is the limit. And I love that. It's very un-Dutch of me, but that's how I connect over here for sure.
Yeah. Well, you're also part Filipino as well, correct?
Yes, that's right.
So, I mean, we have a pretty sizable Filipino community here in the United States. So,
oh, nice. Shout out.
America is about the immigrant experience after all, I think, for a lot of us. I mean, I come from an immigrant family. You yourself are an immigrant into the United States. So I think that's also like something that's pretty special about the United States. It allows everybody to kind of reach for the stars regardless of where you come from.
Yeah, and I do love it that there's so many different people around here, and it's really like a melting pot of cultures, and in the end it unites us all. So yeah, I love it.
For sure. Now let's talk about business. You just released a new single with Raphi, "If There Is Love." We've been playing it here at Revolution 935. Super catchy. Really love it. What was the inspiration behind it?
Well, thank you for the support, first of all. Yeah, so it's been different, obviously, with the pandemic going on and seeing what's going on in the streaming playlists. It's a bit more catered to, a radio feel and more of like a streaming type of feel. But I've been able to play it out, and it goes really well on the dance floors as well. So I'm very happy with that. But this is one of those. See, there's a circuit. There's a circuit of singers. There's a circuit of publishers, and they send out demos. And they reach out to people like me, other DJs, to possibly collaborate. I got this in as a demo, and I heard the lyrics, and I was like, whoa, I love it. Because, everything is love. Everything that prospers is love. And so I was drawn into that, and they actually looked for me because they wanted the Show Me Love feel in there. So I put a little bit of that flavor in there. Yeah, and the result is amazing. I'm so happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely feel that Show Me Love vibe. Definitely feel good dance music. I could see it killing the dance floors. And it's a great song. So congratulations on the success you're seeing from it.
Thank you.
Of course. But I also wanted to kind of like talk about the other side of the Laidback Luke coin. This is very radio friendly, very nice, very happy. You also have a dark side, right? I wanted to talk about this because this is a kind of a new project, Dark Chanell. Tell me about it.
Yeah, Dark Chanell is actually very selfish. Like that's just a very selfish thing of me where it's like, okay, so Laidback Luke caters towards, a big audience and has like the weight of the world on his shoulders, like putting out a new track. Everyone needs to like it. Dark Chanell is literally just for me. and then throwing it back to my end of the 90s type of techno career. And yeah, I'm just doing it for me, really. And when I perform as Dark Chanell, where I just play abstract, unapologetic techno, I literally play it for me as well, whatever gets me moving in the techno realms. And so it's been nice. I have a couple of followers that are like modern day techno DJs, and they were like, wow, why does Dark Chanell put out like a more of like a filter disco funky techno type of deal? And I was like, oh man, you don't even know. In the end of the 90s, we started doing this with the whole Daft Punk coming through. This came through in techno as well, and I used to really love playing tracks like that. And yeah, so I put one of those out, and there's absolutely more Dark Chanell on the way.
That's awesome to hear. And I love the vibe that you're giving. It's almost like your alter ego that's kind of like a super villain because you got that dark mask on. It's cool. I got to say, I love what you're doing with that.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You actually came down to Miami to showcase Dark Chanell, right?
Oh, this was one of my... Oh, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it right now. This was one of my first shows out. And it was in Space Miami. And it was 3 hours long of just being on the terrace playing abstract techno. And wow, I really enjoyed that so much.
So how was the vibe in Miami? It was one of the first ones out of the pandemic. We were ready to party because I remember the vibe was pretty cool leading up to the event.
Indescribable, to be honest. For me, like having sat in my living room for over a year, then to go out and experience that, I was like, man, it almost feels like there wasn't COVID. Like we were right back at it and we were partying, but this time with a more of like an awareness of whereas like, man, we weren't able to party at a certain point, so let's go.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was so nice to hear that you were coming to town and to test out your music. And you've also played at other places in Miami, even back in the day when older venues were open, but you've done 11, Live, all the festivals. In Miami, what is your favorite venue? It could be a festival, it could be Ultra, obviously, but what is your favorite venue to play at?
Well, obviously, I would definitely pick Ultra over everything as a venue. But if we are talking strictly about like a club experience, obviously, you know, I'd love to be back at Live and at Story, and I always enjoy my time at 11. And I was at SLS on the 4th of July. It was great as well. But Space, I really love it. It's just comes very natural to me. Obviously, for me, that's a legendary place as well, and I've been there as a visitor during Miami Music Week in the late hours. But then just to take over the reins and to be in that cockpit on the terrace, it's amazing. I love it.
I mean, I remember seeing you there years ago. You're somewhat of a regular there. You know how to play that room really, really well. I think it suits your style very, very much. And when is your next trip to Miami? When can I see you here again?
Oh boy. I don't have anything in my agenda right now, but hopefully it'll be soon. I love playing in Miami, and fun fact, I once owned a property on North Beach, and I've lived there for, well, it was a good, what was it, 8 months? I love it over there. So whenever I can be back, I'll be there for sure.
Oh, we welcome you with open arms. I just want to know if there's any more Laidback Luke music coming out in the future, though.
Oh, absolutely. I think the next one up is going to be a release on Revealed Records. How about that? A collab with Carta, and we're taking it back to that old school Dutch and big room feel. So that's going to be exciting.
Oh, you just gave me goosebumps. I'm excited now. Oh, you heard it right here. New music on Revealed coming out from Laidback Luke and Carta. Dutch music. I can't wait. Some old school.
Yes, sir.
Well, Laidback Luke, thank you so much for joining me today on Revolution 935. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. Have a great one, man.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.